Kwan with bnetTV. We are here at the LTE Asia Summit in Singapore for 2012, and I am speaking with Mr. Kee Kwan from Altair Semiconductor. How are you today, sir?
Very good, Tony. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So, great conference. Extremely important in the ecosystem. It's great to see all this technology finally coming into to its own, where we've got good deployment and people are focusing on some user interface experiences, customer experiences, quality of experiences, beefing up some of the technologies, and partnering. We've seen a lot of that going on at this particular conference. But for all the people out there in bnetTV land, why don't you give us a brief overview of Altair Semiconductor and what you're doing here at the conference?
Right. Well, I would like to describe us as being the second largest LTE chipset provider in the world, behind Qualcomm. We're not there yet, maybe, but that's where we're heading. But indeed, we offer a very differentiated solution today. I think you hear at the conference a lot of discussions around LTE, TD and FD solutions, and the dynamics of spectral efficiency and how valuable that is. So there's a lot of work in the GTI in this area. So the nice thing to talk about Altair in this case particularly is the fact that we are the world's first single chip solution that offers a multi-band, multi-mode FD and TD in a total ecology here. We've demonstrated that capability to do complete handoffs in both a stationary environment like the GTI event in June, and more importantly, just yesterday we have a press release that's now public. We have completed a bi-directional full duplex handoff in a live environment together with SK Telecom and Ericsson. So within the context of working with the operators and showing them the enabling technology that's going to allow them to really realistically look at cost-effective, viable transition in taking advantage of the more effective spectral density that the TD offers. So I think that news was very well received.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's great to finally see the multi-band chips come into play because, you know, for a lot of the viewers that don't know, there is spectral differentiation in LTE bands between North America, of course, you know, APAC, Australia, Europe, right? So there is some differences in there. So the idea of having that global phone, we don't want to set ourselves back, you know, 20 years where people used to say, oh, do you have one of those world phones? Does it work in Europe? Does it work in APAC? I mean, that shouldn't even be an issue today at all.
Right. And I think that's what makes these TD and FD dynamics so relevant in terms of providing a framework for the ad hoc committee working within the GTI about seamless roaming of data. And again, from us providing the engine that drives all this, having a chipset solution that enables our customers to deliver essentially multi-band solutions on a single device provides that capability. So the message I've been giving to the operators when the opportunity comes and on the panel is really all about the fact that the technology is here today. There are macro levels issues that some of the operators have to solve, which is at a brownfield versus greenfield dynamics with regards to CapEx reconciliation and recovery. But those are the dynamics that any operator will have to face in the emergence of having to do technology transition. But the most important message is that on the underlying level, the enabling technology is in place. The eNote B vendors are ready, and we are ready from a chipset UE standpoint. Now, we let them solve the problems that is solved from an operational standpoint and hopefully deliver the seamless usage of services that LTE enables.
So one of the things I want to impress upon our viewers here is that you know, with the onset of LTE coming on as a rush globally, that it's not just the handsets that are, although extremely important because it's the first point of entry for the user or for the consumer market, but from the enterprise solutions arena, the M2M area of the ecosystem is extremely important. Plus the multi idea. Flexibility of so many other LTE-enabled devices that are hitting the market space within the next X amount of years. The chipsets is obviously what the manufacturers are going to be looking at and how to deploy within a market space that's good for the user experience.
And that's the opportunity that we see as Altair, having obviously invested in delivering what we consider a highly differentiated solution, Tony. The important aspects that I mentioned that in the panel is that I tend to view the world in screens. right? And I don't care whether the content is delivered for entertainment purposes or for medical purposes we touch upon. Exactly. And the richness of that information, that data set, is going to enable a lot of applications in every aspect of M2M. And M2M covers many things from telemetry to security.
Auto-connected devices.
Exactly. I mean, you could see in dynamics where very soon you could have a
Car life is what I was thinking.
exactly. So an LTE is enabling all that. So we're really eager to have that infrastructure come about, and particularly in the M2M space. The fact is that for security, telemetry, for medical applications, there are many more applications I can't possibly even imagine. But having the data set available through a broadband data pipe, without a doubt, is very key. And the other aspects that leads very well to our solution is that the context of driving broadband access into the end user has really migrated from copper to fiber, and there are, in those sets of technologies, there are a whole set of different set of issues with regards to CapEx, build out the infrastructure, and naturally LTE just is such an elegant solution, right? You can't beat wireless. So from just a pure last mile alternative and the ultimate way to cover the rest of the gaps worldwide in a lot of emerging countries, be it brownfield and particularly in greenfield space, this is clearly going to be the technology of choice. I see it as the next great inflection point, which is already here.
Well, I think it's from a CapEx standpoint. I think that a lot of the conversation has been going on in this particular conference is the deployment of the technology as a whole is just so much less expensive than it was from a 3G standpoint, just from a pure infrastructure play. That being said, what are some of the flavors that you've heard here at the conference that people have been speaking about, and what was your panel like?
I think in general, I see a lot of convergence in the operator recognition of the benefits and the dynamics of shifting to a TD, but recognizing again that the infrastructure legacy aspects of closer to us, FD deployment, different frequency bands, leveraging into the TD space, which lends well from a transition standpoint for us in terms of being able to deliver that solution into the carriers. So those operators that are on FD moving to TD is a slightly easier solution, which we're working with them to participate. The more challenging that I heard some of the operators working on a legacy 4G like WiMAX, in terms of how they're going to why who and how they're going to transition that. So I've had some interesting conversations with some operators which basically indicate that they have to make that transition, and I'm eager to help them to do that from a device standpoint.
It's always great to talk to somebody from Altair. You guys are well positioned within the marketplace. LTE is a fantastic arena of the ecosystem to be in, and it looks like you're going to have an easy transition into that point.
We're looking forward to that opportunity.
Fantastic. Thank you. I've been speaking with Mr. Kee Kwan of Altair Semiconductor here at the LTE Asia Summit 2012 in Singapore. I'm Tony Sklar with bnetTV.